Hi everyone, my name is Ali, and if this is your first time watching my videos, welcome. I have not been here for a while. Last year was crazy to me. I didn't expect to not be here, and yeah, well, it was my second semester of my exchange year. Then I met my boyfriend, then he lived there, he still lives there, I live here. It's so crazy. So I stopped reading, which is crazy, I know. I did stop reading completely. Last year I read a total of 2 books, which doesn't compare to the 70 something books that I read in 2024. Crazy to me, I know. But the one thing I miss a lot is YouTube and TikTok. And this year I have this need to come back and to film and to just do what I like. So today we are filming a 2026 TBR video. For 2026 I have kind of decided that I will not have a set TBR and I will not set a goal of books to read in 2026 because I just want to go back into reading, and at the moment I don't feel like reading anything at all. I have read 1 book already, but that's it, and I don't want to force myself into reading just to read. So just for the sake of setting a goal on Goodreads and Fable and any app that I use, I have put 25 books that I would like to read this year, and I have come up with a kind of a TBR in which I have books that I definitely want to read this year because they have caught my attention and I want to read them. But I just chose 15 because I kind of want to give myself that like 10 books or more that I just don't want to choose, and I just want to read whatever I want whenever I want to read it. So this TBR is not set, like it's not something I will 100% stick to. Might be, might not be, I don't really care. I just want to read, and reading makes me happy, so I just want to do that. As I've said, I've already read 1 book that I gave 4 stars, so it's not a bad start of the year, and that book was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I have a lot to say about this book. I watched the show with my boyfriend when he was here for Christmas. I think we watched it in like 2-3 days, so not bad, and I really loved the show so much. I had the book for years in my bookshelves and I never picked it up. And I picked it up. It's very short. It's like 300 pages or like 250, something like that. I liked it. I think it's a really, really good book, but I don't think I liked it as much as the TV show. And I watched this show, which I recommend doing first because if you don't know, there's a plot twist in this book. And in the show, the plot twist is so much better. Like, you don't see it coming, it's shocking, it's incredible, and it's just so nice. So nice. And reading it here, it was just like, there was 1 chapter, and then the next page, plot twist. It wasn't special to me, and when I watched the show, I felt that was more special. So I really loved the show. I think it's one of my favorite shows ever. And the book I liked, I just didn't quite love. If you read the book first, you're gonna see that there's so many things that changed in the show. So many. And in the show, one thing that I like, because it's something I studied post-colonial literature, and this is not as post-colonial, and it doesn't talk about post-colonial topics, but the show is very post-colonial topic based. Like so many things are said because there's one of the liars. It's a group of 4 friends. Well, yeah, 4 friends. 3 of them are cousins and one of them is just a friend. And they know him since they were little. And he's Indian. They are like a rich white family living in Martha's Vineyard in an island. So it is very post-colonial. It talks about colonialism a lot in the show. Like the book, not that much. But the show, It's so good. If you like those kinds of topics, and if you read the book and you are like hesitant to watch it or not, watch it. It's so much better than this. And this was 4 stars for me, like it was good. Okay, another book is Normal People. I watched the show. I haven't read this yet, but I watched the show like a year or 2 years ago. When it first came out, I watched it. I rewatched it like 2 times. I loved it. I'm doing my thesis for my last year of college on this book and how it like defies the normal happily ever after and introduces the unhappy ever after, and how it like deconstructs the romance genre, because it does. So I have to read it and I have to like start working on my thesis, but yes, I want to start it. So that this has been on my TBR for like the longest time, and it's set on Sligo. I think it's a little town in Ireland. I did my exchange year in Ireland and I didn't go to Sligo, which is a crime. So yes, this is in my TBR. I have to start reading it, so I'll probably start today, I want to say. So yes, if you don't believe that I'm obsessed with Normal People, there's like kind of, it's not a mailbox, but it's like something that has a graffiti of normal people. When I went to see it in Dublin, like next to Trinity College, when I went to see it, they had tagged the normal and it just said people, but can you see it? Yes, I am obsessed. Next on my TBR is a book that I don't have with me yet, and it's Family of Liars. It's the sequel to We Were Liars, and I'm really excited to read it. My parents bought it for me for my birthday, and my birthday is in like a month, a little less than a month, and I really want to read it because the show really like sets the scene for the second book. But it's so good. It's about something that the mothers of the children did when they were like 15, 20, 18, I don't know. And it's something they did that I'm kind of thinking led to the death of their sister, which is already mentioned in the show and the book. It's not the plot twist, so it's not super important, so I have not spoiled anything. I'm really excited to read it because I did like this writing style of We Were Liars. I think it was very easy to read and very normal English. My first language is not English, and if your first language is not English, this is really easy to read, I would say. Okay, to be able to do this video and to like give myself inspiration, because I'm not feeling like reading romance again, like full-on romance. I have watched so many videos of my favorite YouTubers, booktubers to be fair, saying what they read in 2025, what their top picks of 2025 were, their TBRs for 2026, some books that like mark them in a way. Some of the next books come from there, so I don't have them yet, but I want to either buy them. And the first one is The Bright Side. I don't know who it's from, but it will be here. I love the cover. I think the cover is so pretty, and I have no idea what it's about. I don't remember, but I know when I read what it was about, I thought that it was exactly what I wanted, because it's not full-on romance. There's like some other plots in there, and it's exactly what I think I need right now. So, Ryan and Lillian Bride are deeply in love, recently married, and now parents to a baby girl, Georgette. But Lillian has a son she hasn't told Ryan about, and Ryan has an alcohol addiction he hasn't told Lillian about. So, Georgette comes of age, watching their marriage rise and fall. And then it's kind of, I think, her meeting her mom's son that she had from another marriage or another story. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, so I just stopped reading because I want to go into books blind here. But I saw Sarah Caroli talk about it, and I feel like it's exactly my type of book. I want to read more literary fiction and less romance, full-on romance, like if you know what I mean. I feel like that book will be good for me for that same reason. And the cover, The cover is amazing. It's beautiful. I think it's perfect. Then the next book, it's another book that I saw on a Sarah Caroli video, but a long time ago, and I added it to my Amazon cart, but I never bought it. And that is Main Characters. I think it's kind of like there's two sisters that they didn't know that they were sisters and they were separated at birth or something like that. Let me look it up because I think it's something like that, but I'm not sure. But again, I literally added it to my TBR because it's far away from romance and the cover is so pretty. Yeah, it's like The Parent's Trap for adults. That is what I was trying to think about, but the name of the movie in Spanish is very different. So there's the story of two half-sisters who meet for the first time at their father's cabin in Maine after his unexpected death. And yeah, every summer they spend a month with their father at this lake house separately. Basically it's The Parent Trap, but different, like in a lake house, I think. I feel like it's gonna be something that I really enjoy reading because it's literary fiction again. So I feel like it's exactly what I need, it's exactly what I want, and that's exactly what I want right now. Okay, another book that I wanna read is Rewinded Back by Liz Stomford. I know I said I don't want to read romance, but I bought this book when it came out. I read all the others and I was super obsessed with the whole series. And then when I bought this one, I stopped reading for some reason. And I also bought like the cute cover that, like the cute edition that has these drawings. Whoop! I'm really sad that I stopped reading when this book came out because I was so like I remembered everything about the other books and now I will be confused. The Windy City series, it's the kind of romance series that you don't forget that easily. At least I don't. Like I remember exactly what the first book was about, the second, the third even, and the fourth. The fourth was so good to me. Isaiah. And my friend from my Erasmus, she is obsessed with Isaiah. Loves him. So I'm really excited to read about Hallie and Rio, yeah. And yes, I know it's romance, but I also want to read romance because I was a big romance reader. It was like almost 100% of what I read. Another book that's on my TBR but I don't own yet is Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. I also don't know fully what this book is about, but I watched it in everyone's vlogs, like literally every video, every book video that I watched, everyone read this. And I didn't read, so I missed out on it, but I want to read it this year for sure. So I think it's kind of a romance a little bit, but I have no idea what it is about. Beth and her gentle, kind husband Frank are happily married, but their relationship relies on the past staying buried. But when Beth's brother-in-law shoots a dog going after their sheep, Beth doesn't realize that the gunshot will alter the course of their lives. Ooh. For the dog belonged to no one other than Gabriel Wolf, the man Beth loved as a teenager. The man who broke her heart years ago. I want to buy it right now. That is exactly what I want to read this year. I know I say that about every single book that I have mentioned, but that sounds so good. And then by the same author, I want to read Days You Were Mine. That's also on my TBR. I don't fully know what it is about. Luke and Hannah live a happy and stable life in London, working in jobs they love as they prepare for the arrival of their first child, Samuel. All his life, Luke has known he was adopted, but he's never felt the need to seek out his birth mother until he becomes a father himself. So yeah, it's basically about them having a baby, and then he kind of feels the urge to like know about his story, to kind of pass it to his son, so like to know who he is. That is another book that I want to buy and read. Okay, the next book is The 7 Years Sleep by Ashley Poston. I've had this book on my bookshelf for ages and I never ever read it. I swear to God I bought it like a year ago and I never read it, and my bookshelf is full of books that I buy and I never read. But this one, I really wanted to read when I bought it, and then I don't know why I didn't read it, but whatever. I think it was like a girl that moved to her aunt's apartment, and then when she was in the apartment, she time traveled like 7 years back, and she met a guy 7 years in the past, and she fell in love with him, but then she was going back to the present in which he wasn't there. I think it was something like that. I think it's very nice because it's a romance, but also has like another plot, and that is something I really am looking for in a book, like this year at least. So I'm very excited to read these. I don't know when I'm going to get to these, but I'll get to these eventually, and I'm very excited to read it. Okay, the next thing in my TBR, it's not a book, but kind of not a series either, but well, I have this book because it's the prettiest one, in my opinion, Happy Place by Emily Henry. But I just want to read any book by Emily Henry. I didn't read People We Meet on Vacation, and I watched the movie. I heard that the book was so much better. I put this book in because it's the one that called to me the most when I read all the summaries. And yeah, like any Emily Henry book I would love to read because I want to see what the hype is about. Probably this one. I also have like People We Meet on Vacation, Beach Read, Book Lovers, Funny Story. I don't have the last one, Great Big Beautiful Life, or Big Great Beautiful Life. I don't remember the title, but those are the ones that I have. And I want to see what the hype is about. I know this is not the first one, and like there's not an official order to read them, but I really want to read one, and if it's this one, I'm not going to complain. Another book that I want to read, and that's on my TBR for this year, I don't have it here, I have it on my flat where I go to uni, is Releasing 10. Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. It's my most, like, it's the book I waited for the most because I love Liz and I want her story so bad. And I know it's like this thick, it has almost 1,000 pages, but I read all the other ones, like I have them even in different languages. Like when I went to Budapest, I bought one in Hungarian. So yeah, I'm obsessed with them. They're my favorite series ever, and I want to go back into reading them. And I think it's not romance at all. Like, it's about Liz's previous years when she met Hugh, her sister, Mark, everything. I've seen people say that if you want to read it, you have to look up the trigger warnings because it's apparently very like specific in some things and very gruesome and like not light at all. But I love Liz and I love Hugh a little less, but I do. And I just want to read it, so I don't care about trigger warnings, to be fair. Now, one book that I didn't officially put on my TBR, but I really want to read because it's very short. It's And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. I saw this book on Stephanie Bohr's video, and it's just so small, and she talked about it, and I think it's like a grandpa and a grandson sitting on a bench and talking about things in life, and the grandpa has Alzheimer's, so it's like, and they talk about life, they talk about things, but the grandpa is like not remembering some things. I don't know, it just sounded so nice, and it's short. Look at the font, it's huge. So yeah, that's also on my TBR, even though it's not officially on my TBR list, which I have here. Okay, one book that I put on my list like last minute was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I don't know how to pronounce that. I have absolutely no idea what it is about. I just saw it on a video and I thought that the cover is so pretty, and I think it is not a romance, which is what I was looking for to be able to make this TBR. So yes. A mysterious woman washed ashore, a rising storm on the horizon. Dominic Salt and his 3 children are caretakers of Shearwater, a tiny island not far from Antarctica. Home to the world's largest seed bank, Shearwater was once full of researchers, but with sea levels rising, the salts are now its final inhabitants. I thought it was pretty fun, like it sounded fun. So another book I want to read is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I have 2 of her books. I started reading Every Summer After. I hated it. I DNF'd it. Which is not to say that the book is really, really bad, because it was just me that at the moment I was reading it, I didn't really like anything that wasn't pure smart. So it was very hard for me to read it, and I DNF'd it, and I never went back to it. I want to give it a second chance, and I know that I don't want to read Every Summer After because I feel like I'm not gonna like it, and I've seen a lot of people that don't give high ratings rate this book really, really high. One Golden Summer. So I have no idea what it is about. I feel like it's a second chance because all her books are second chances, but I don't know. I just want to read it. I want to give it a chance, so maybe I'll do, maybe I won't, who knows. Another book that I don't have, but it's on my TBR, it's The House in the Cerulean Sea. I have absolutely no idea what it is about. I have seen it for years and years, and it was never the kind of book that I read, so I didn't even bother. But I think it has come the time where if I am not going to read as many romances, I am going to try to read like the most popular books that are not romances, and that's it. That is it. The House in the Cerulean Sea. There was not one video in 2024 and 2025 where I didn't see The House in the Cerulean Sea. I have no idea what it is about, and I will maybe not like it, but I feel like I have to give it a chance. A magical island, a dangerous task, a burning secret. Linus Baker leads a quiet, solitary life. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records. As a caseworker at the department in charge of magical youth, he spends his days overseeing the well-being of children in government-sanctioned orphanages. When Linus is unexpectedly summoned by extremely upper management, he is given a curious and highly classified assignment: a travel to Marsyas, island orphanage, where 6 dangerous children reside: a gnome, a sprite, a wyvern, an unidentifiable green blob, a were-Pomeranian, and the Antichrist. Linus must set aside his fears and determine whether or not they're likely to bring about the end of days. Oh, wow. I kind of want to read it, kind of not. It's weird. I have no words. And that never happens. I feel like I will read it. Because if I could, like, I will look at my TBR list that I made on, like, the notes app on iPhone, and I will be like, what was this about? And I'll read it again, and I'll be like, huh? So I'll want to read it. My last book on my TBR, and I've said this, I want to read around 25 books. I don't feel like that's too much. It's like 2 a month, and that's doable. This is number 15. So I feel like it's a good thing, because if I only read 15 books this year, that's good for me. And I feel like this one would have to be like the last book I read in the year. I've had it since I bought the whole Calloway Sisters and Addicted series, Some Kind of Perfect. I read the Addicted series and the Calloway Sisters series, how you're supposed to read them. I haven't read the epilogue novel. I finished the whole series and I was like, I don't want it to end, so I'm not reading these, but I feel like it's time. It has been here 2 years. I think I started reading, like full-on reading, like it became my hobby, in 2023. Like Christmas of 2023. So I have officially been reading for like 2 years, even though in 2025 I didn't read nothing. But my reading journey has been for 2 years. I feel like I want to finish it. It's this big, it's this thick, so it's gonna be a problem probably. But even if it's the last book I read in the year and I read it all this, it takes all December for me to read this, it'll be fine, because it's my baby and I want to read it. It's been there at the end of the series for 2 years. It has to be done. I just don't want it to end because it was one of my favorite series ever. But yeah, I want to read these. And I think that's all. I still have like a lot of books that I could add to my TBR. I already saw one on Goodreads that I think I added. The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. So that's all. I hope if you watched it, you liked it. If you missed me, you're happy that I'm back. I don't know how much I'm gonna post because I am very lazy about that. I love to film, and now I have like so many videos filmed, but then I'm very lazy on editing and publishing, and because to me everything has to be perfect. So I don't know, just bear with me. I'll see you soon, or not soon, but I'll see you.